Before Centennial Bank State Finals on the NFHS Network. My name is Carlos Chicas, and I'll be your play-by-play announcer.
And I am Chase Hartzell. I will be your color commentator for today's state championship lineup.
Today we have a full day for you with the first match between Catholic and Conway, followed at 12 p.m. by Harding Academy versus Shiloh Christian. At 2 p.m., Central Arkansas Christians is going to battle against Green Forest for the 3A Boys Championship, and we'll be closing it up with the last game at 4 p.m.
Well, and you see CAC on the slate twice for soccer today. It is a full day for the Mustangs. Carlos, as I was walking in today, I was passing by the baseball stadium, and CAC baseball was getting ready to play God's Knell for a state championship as well, so plenty to celebrate if you are a fan of the CAC Mustangs. But right now, we turn back to what is going to be an exciting 6A boys state title game.
3 minutes and 52 seconds away from kickoff. And let's recap what happened yesterday. We started at 10 a.m. with that match between Bentonville and Rogers for the 6A Girls Championship, with the Tigers came on top, defeating the Mountaineers 4-2. And then three more games that follow the early morning, late afternoon.
Well, it was a historic game for Russellville in Game 2, winning 11-1. Jet Bull El Toro with 4 goals in the first 13 minutes of the match to become MVP. Also had a teammate go for a hat trick as well. Cervantes had one as well, and along with several others scoring goals in that one as well. 5 different Cyclones scored. And then you go to the 2 p.m. matchup. You had Pulaski Academy just barely hanging on against the Silent Springs Panthers, 2-1. The Bruins claiming their first state championship since 2022. And then to close out the day, an instant classic between Clarksville and Dardanelle. Both schools looking for their first ever state championship. It was tied 1-1 after regulation. 2 overtime periods weren't enough. They went to PKs, 11 PKs each is what it took.
And then Silent Springs came short against Pulaski Academy for the 2-1, and I think I missed a great game in the last game with Clarksville and Dardanelle.
It was a fantastic match, one of the best that we have seen here in the history of the Weekend of Champions, and what a moment for the Clarksville Panthers claiming their first ever state championship. A community and a fan base that loves the beautiful game, and finally rewarded with that long-awaited state title. Dardanelle, though, will be back contending for their own first state title very soon.
The starting line now for Catholic for the 10 a.m. game. They're going to go with Alex Cazie, Hugo Chacon, Drew Wynn, Robert Bookman, Harper Havens, Trip Ortega, Aaron Estrada, Magnus Kajebeski, Denny Nava, Reese Simon, and Aiden Garay. That's the starting lineup. The coach, Ryan Lawrence, El Raton, is going to send in to fight for a state title today.
And here's the starting lineup for Matthew Page's Conway Wampus Cats. The Wampus Cats looking for another state title, their 3rd consecutive. Brody Tyler will be your starting goalkeeper today. And joining him on the pitch will be Tyson Turnage, Stephen Chesser, Henry Ross, Lincoln Parker, Dylan Boyer, Miguel Lazoya, Sawyer Frederick, Trip Strange, Ian Boy, and Logan Geyer. That is your starting lineup for the defending state champion Conway Wampus Cats. And Carlos, what's interesting about this matchup today is that Catholic, although this is their first time in the state championship match in a while, they are no strangers to winning state titles. They've won 5 state titles, and if I'm not mistaken, that is the most of any 6A team in the history of Arkansas State soccer. Here's what's interesting, though. Conway can tie that today. They have 4 state titles in their own history. Of course, they've won the last 2, looking for a 3-peat today. And I'm sure that there's going to be plenty of representation for the Wampus Cats here today. A hometown matchup going for a state championship trophy.
And I hope that I'm not wrong as far as when was the last time the Catholic won a state title. I believe that was in 2011, maybe?
It was. It's worth noting, too, that was at the end of their own 3-peat there.
Looks like parking was an issue this morning for you.
It was.
I wonder why.
Well, when you've got a hometown matchup and then you've also got two great state championship games taking place right across from each other, there's a very exciting matchup in baseball taking place today between Gosnell and CAC. The Mustangs already here for some soccer action later today. But then, of course, you've got the hometown Conway Wampus Cats looking for a three-peat. It's a beautiful Saturday morning for the beautiful game. The rain stayed away long enough for us to get all 4 games in yesterday. Had a little bit of rain later yesterday evening. But once again, we are set up for another beautiful day at Estes Stadium. It has been a wonderful weekend here at the University of Central Arkansas for all of these state championship matchups.
And when you look at the rosters, when you go without, knowing the style of plays, I got an opportunity to watch Conway in the state tournament, and haven't have the opportunity to watch Catholic. One of the things that Catholics, and I'm sure they know this already, is on the set pieces, especially with the throw-ins. Conway does a good job with those long throw-ins, putting the ball inside the box, similar to what the girls' team from Bentonville was doing yesterday. So Catholic is going to have to find a way to defend those.
That is going to be the key to success. And Carlos, we talked about it yesterday in a lot of our state championship finals. The key to success has been finding that balance between tempo, the speed of the game, but also being able to have that ball control. If you have one or the other, that's definitely beneficial, but when you find a way to combine them like Russellville did yesterday in the 4A boys state final, that is a tough combination to defeat. And it's also worth noting too, Carlos, that yesterday in all 4 of our matchups, the first team to score a goal ended up winning the state championship. So the first goal, very important in setting the tempo for this title game.
Nothing better than the weather right now, at least for us, but I know on the field, because the boys are playing on a turf surface, it's going to be warm enough for them. It's going to be very crucial to maintain and stay hydrated and making sure that, I remember that a teammate told me one day, we were playing a very intensive game, and I was chasing every single ball, and he came and said, just a piece of advice, just go to those balls that you think you're going to get it and save some energy, because with the tar field right now, it's going to be extremely hot down there.
It is, and already here today, 73 degrees, which is pretty nice, a little bit warmer because of the humidity, so it feels more like 75, 76 degrees. But then add on usually about 10 or 15 degrees to the turf. So really right now on the field surface, it's somewhere between 85, 86 degrees, maybe even a little bit warmer for those players. That may not seem too bad, but when you add that up over 80 minutes on the pitch, especially in a highly competitive environment like this, things are going to heat up very quickly.
Catholic versus Conway. Catholic on light yellow and Catholic with white and stripes. It's going to be a game to decide who's the next king in the 6A West. Catholic with a 2-3-2-3 formation, and Conway starting with a 4-4-2 with a sweeper. Very aggressive for Catholic. Center referee has blown the whistle, and here we go with the first 40 minutes of the 2024 Centennial Bank State Finals on the NFHS network. If you just join us, the starting line now for Catholic: Alex Casasi, Hugo Chacon, Drew Wynn, Robert Buchman, Harper Havens, Trip Ortega, Magnus Kajewski, Danny Nava, Riz Simon, and Aiden Garay. As Catholic is moving the ball inside the box, and for Conway, Brody Tyler, Tyson Tumaji, Stephen Cheshire, Henry Ross, Lincoln Parker, Dylan Boyer, Miguel Lozoya, Sawyer Frederick, Trip Strange, and now Catholic with the first opportunity with the crossbar, and those are the scores or the scores opportunities you got to put in. Number 8, Harper Heavens hit the crossbar.
Very close call there for the Wampus Cats. Carlos, you mentioned how aggressive that Catholic was in their early approach here today. That proved beneficial as they were able to get a good look early. You have to think if they keep that aggression up, they're going to get similar looks. And I would imagine that at some point, one of those looks is going to go in. Conway is going to have to find a way to limit those opportunities. This wouldn't be the first time that we have crowned a three-peat champion, not even in boys soccer this year, as Russellville successfully completed the three-peat earlier in the weekend. And Carlos, as I like to say, had we been playing on a Saturday afternoon, that one would have counted for 3 points. Instead, it's going to count for none here, as that one goes through the uprights of the football goalpost. Well, we are playing on a Saturday morning, but wrong football.
There you go. On the attack, Conway trying to get something going, crossing the ball to the far post. It's going to be a goal kick for Catholic. Good crowd today.
It is, and no surprise for that either, because these are two local teams. Catholic making the short trip up from Little Rock. Of course, Conway is a hometown team. Plenty of blue here in the upper bowl, but also a little bit of purple as well. Both teams are well represented at the Weekend of Champions, and I'm sure that is going to make for a very exciting atmosphere, although both of these fan bases are going to have to do a lot to keep up with the energy of Clarksville yesterday. Carlos, so far that is the most energetic fan base I've seen here. You had the noisemakers, you had drums in attendance, you had custom signs, chants. That was a fan base that was ready for a state championship. They got what they were hoping for. We'll see if these 6A teams can bring the same energy today. Both established teams with plenty of championships to their resume, but wanting the bragging rights of being called a 2024 champion.
And these two teams have previously seen each other in the regular season, and they know each other well. And I believe Conway took one victory against Catholic, so they are very aware of what each others are capable of. But it's a game of the strategies. I remember Coach Ryan Lawrence, we used to call him El Ratón, the mouse. He used to play for Diablos, one of the top teams in Northwest Arkansas in the early 2000s. Ratón, who was a very skillful player, got an opportunity to say hi to him as they were getting out of the bus. And, we wish him the best for this game. Corner kick for Conway. Catholic is going to get it out. Estrada on the last touch. Conway moving the ball around on the right side. High pressure there by number 13, Nava. Nava is going to deny an opportunity and force for a turnover, and it's going to be a throw-in for Catholic. 4 minutes in the first half. It's 0-0 in the 2024 Centennial Bank State Finals on the NFHS network.
Well, and Carlos, you talked about these two teams knowing each other well, having been conference rivals. Looking back at their last meeting, it was a 0-0 tie on April 30th, one of the last matches of the regular season. And before that, very early in the conference slate, it was a 3-0 victory for the Conway Wampus Cats. But I feel like we've seen improvement from this Catholic High team all season long. They handed the Wampus Cats their only tie of the year. We will see if this can prove to be a victorious day for the Rockets. They are 14-4-3 in their own right. To get here, they had to defeat Central and a strong Fayetteville team as well as Rogers Heritage in the semifinals. They only allowed 1 goal in their first 3 playoff matchups compared to scoring 9 in that span.
Hugo Chacon connecting with Garay. Garay serves the ball into the left side. Challenge the one-on-one there. Catholic tried to get something going. Good movement in the backs. And now have an opportunity for a shot out to the near post, and they take it. That was number 7, Robert Buchman, with the shot on goal. Set piece for Catholic. Conway has everybody in the backs. And that's how you like to defend, Chase. You got to get as many players you can behind the ball.
Without a doubt, don't want to give the Rockets any easy looks, and they opt to go here with just a short pass from the corner.
Inside the box. Conway is going to clear it. Trying to connect on top via number 2 on the jersey, Tyson Turnage. It's a throw-in for Catholic. Kajewski with the throw-in. Checking his number 13, Danny Nava. Dana Nava with the left foot trying to get something going with Buchman. Buchman switching the ball with Wing. Wing has support on the left side via Garay. Garay back to his teammate, and the ball went out of bounds, and it's going to be a throw-in for Catholic. Buchman. Conway. Chacon switching the ball, connecting with Kajewski. Number 12, he's going to send the ball with the right foot, top of the box, trying to get to the center forward. Catholic has the top of the box. Number 10 on the jersey, Estrada. It's going to be a Catholic ball via Simon or Simon. Conway serving the ball into the space again, trying to connect with number 2, Tyson. Looks like the ball was touched by Catholic. It's going to be a throw-in for Conway, who is playing home pretty much.
They are, and give credit to Catholic, despite being in what you could consider enemy territory. They are maintaining possession very effectively here early, limiting the Wampus Cats' chances. That's what you have to do to set yourself up for a championship victory today. We'll see if the Rockets continue to go with this controlled approach, or if maybe the Wampus Cats can counter it.
Long ball. It's going to be a Conway ball. That's number 29 or 26, I believe, Logan. Make that run and deny that long ball opportunity.
Will be a goal kick here for the goalkeeper, Brody Tyler.
Getting close to the 10-minute mark. It's 0-0 between Conway and Catholic. Catholic has it via Aaron Estrada. Looks like an early substitution coming in, number 11 for Conway. Noah Shop. Taking a break is number 2. That's an early sub. I wonder what's going on with number 2.
And that's something you're going to see a lot more in these 6A matchups compared to the smaller classifications that we had yesterday on the pitch. Larger schools, you have a little bit larger rosters, and that allows you to dig into that depth even earlier in the match than you would be otherwise. We'll see which team can utilize their talent to the best of their ability. The key is to make sure that you manage the load for everyone, but at the same time, you don't want to overcorrect and take players out longer than they need to be. It's all a balancing act.
Conway letting Catholic do all the work, kind of making them run. If you notice, it's kind of a slower game for Conway. And probably that's part of the tactics. Hey, let them run the ball, let us spend the energy. We want to stay in the back. We want to close the space. And then we want to be able to get the ball and get it going in transition. Indirect kick for Catholic. Kajewski switching the ball to Chacon. Chacon has support on the left side. Challenge the one-on-one via Garay. Garay with no fear, trying to go deep using the flanks. Throwing for Catholic. 28 to play in the half. It's 0-0 in the 2024 Centennial Bank State Finals on the NFHS network. It's today Saturday.
It is.
So tomorrow is the last game of the Golden Years League back in Northwest Arkansas. I'm tied up with 17 goals in the season with another player. And it looks like it's going to come down to the last match of the season to see who takes the Golden Boot. Been averaging 3 goals per match.
Well, there you go.
And I'm not slowing down.
Never. Now, here's the real question. Do you get to play each other tomorrow in the final game, or are you playing separate?
No, they play earlier than us. So I'm sure he's going to try to do his thing, and based on what he does, I'm going to try to do mine.
There you go.
But, you know, regardless, it's fun. It's just we just like to go and enjoy, you know. We play on a 9v9. It's a small side game, but, I mean, it's once you're on the pitch, it's competitive.
I don't doubt it. And, Carlos, I'm sure you're going to have a great chance to take home the Golden Boot tomorrow. And regardless of what happens, you're going to do it the Chicas way.
That's right. That's right. I really appreciate the coverage yesterday, you know, because I was able to get to my son's graduation about an hour early. Traffic was bad because the Razorbacks were hosting the regionals. And I didn't know that prior to his graduation, there was also Rogers Heritage graduation happening at 6 p.m. So parking was crazy, but, you know, I'm glad that I made it. And it was great to see Carlitos and everybody, you know, every senior walking the stage for the getting their high school diploma.
Some of these athletes out here today have already received their high school diploma.
I believe Conway has theirs yesterday.
I believe so. And for those who haven't yet, they will soon. But what a way to celebrate the end of your career right here at the Weekend of Champions. We've seen a lot of seniors playing their final matches here. Some of them getting to raise their arms in victory, others feeling that bitter taste of defeat. But that's part of the beauty of the game. You never know what you're going to experience until you're here. It is worth noting, though, too, Carlos, that there can only be one state champion, but all of these are excellent players. You don't get to the state championship without putting an excellent team together, especially in a talented classification like this one right here, the 6A boys classification here in Arkansas.
As the graduation ceremony was happening yesterday, I saw a group of kids coming there late, and I'm like, hey, how come? And they say, oh, that's the baseball team. They're coming from the tournament. So they made it there on time too. So if you just join us, you're watching the 2024 Centennial Bank State Finals on the NFHS network with the first game, Catholic versus Conway. We have a full schedule for you this morning as Conway is crossing the ball inside the box, and it's blocked by number 14 on the jersey, Simon, and it's going to be a corner kick for Conway. At 12 p.m., we have Harding Academy versus Shiloh Christian, and CAC facing Green Forest Tigers, and closer enough, Episcopal versus CAC. Corner kick for Conway. An opportunity for Conway to get something on the scoreboard. Number 2 is coming back on the pitch with 23 to play in the first half. It's 0-0. Conway getting ready. The ball comes in the box. Number 10 on the jersey, Estrada, tried to clear it. Still a Conway ball. This time on the left side. Good job by the defense, and now it's counter-attack, and they're going to utilize the speed. Ain't no fear on the speed going down the stretch. Number 9, Ortega 4v1. Ortega shot on goal. For a second, I thought he was going to cross that ball to Estrada, who was coming in. But no fear by Trip Ortega going and challenge the 4v1 there. You know, the message sent by a player like that is, listen, you want part of this? I'm bringing it to you.
Well, and that might have been the best play there for him because, one, you take the defense by surprise in the 4-on-1 situation, but also the way that those 4 defenders were spaced, I don't know if he would have been able to get the cross back over. Might have been the best opportunity to go ahead for the shot on goal. It was a pretty good-looking shot, especially on the run going across his body. But a good play there at the net by Brody Tyler, making sure that he holds the Rockets off the scoreboard.
And again, if you just join us, this is the 2024 Centennial Bank Stake Finals on the NFHS Network. Shout out to Coach Claudio Arias at Texas A&M International Laredo, who is watching live and keep an eye on prospects across the country. And now he's turning his focus to Arkansas. We wish the best to Coach Claudio Arias and his boy as Texas A&M International. Great program. Got an opportunity to meet Coach Claudio Arias Chase when we were going to get our coaching license through the NSCAA. We got our premier diploma together in San Antonio. And that was the last time that we got to work together, but through his coaching career, we always keep in touch to provide opportunities for the student athletes.
That is fantastic. And it's great to see opportunities for local players and even players that aren't necessarily from the area, but really players from all over getting opportunities and systems like that. I know that Texas A&M has several programs, including international, that give a lot of student athletes, not only from Texas, but also from Arkansas and many of the other surrounding states, sometimes even countries from around the world, an opportunity to play soccer at a very high level. Just goes to show you, again, how fast the beautiful game is growing in the United States. And Texas A&M International, one of those programs that's right there at the forefront, trying to lead the charge.
Well, the go set piece on throw-ins, the ones that we were talking earlier, that Catholic's going to have to find a way to defend, because once the ball is in the air and there is no deflection by the team who's doing the throw-in, the next thing is see who's going to rebound that ball. Estrada putting pressure and forcing number 21, Sawyer Friedrich. He's going to throw in via Ortega. Ortega connecting with Kaczewski. Chacon sending the ball to Estrada. Estrada putting pressure and the ball comes back to Magnus. Drews turning with the ball. Magnus, it's an option.
Officially halfway home here in the first half. Still no score between these two teams.
Ortega with the throw-in. Checking in is Chacon. Chacon is going to get the ball back to Ortega. Ortega with the right foot connects in the middle. Doing a great job. Buchman, top of the box. Shot on goal this time is blocked by the own teammate. And it's Conway on the go via Stephen. And again, from my judgment here, it's Conway allowing Catholic to do all the hard work. They're just containing and maintaining.
Well, and Carlos, to borrow a comparison from another sport, it's almost kind of like a boxing championship fight here between two heavyweights, feeling each other out early in the process. Nobody's landed a major blow yet, but still just trying to figure out what does my opponent have to offer. And right now, Conway's been very patient. I'd have a chance right here, though, in a 2-on-1 situation. Good cutoff there by Catholic.
Ball plays back to the goalie. Gonna try to go with a long ball. Trying to connect with Ortega. Ball goes away.
This is what we ran into yesterday as well with the Clarksville and Dardanelle matchup. Those are two teams that are in the same conference. They'd already played each other twice. And up until that point, Clarksville had not defeated Dardanelle. They had lost one match and they had tied the other match. So the thing is, it is very tough to face a team for a third time and come away with a victory because they've already seen a lot that you have to offer in the regular season. So you almost have to get a little bit creative here. What can we offer that we didn't offer up in those first two matches? And that's also part of the strategy of the regular season. If you know you're going to make that deep run, which is never a guarantee, how can we offer things up without giving away our entire game plan for the big matchup, the state championship? That's especially the case in the 6A West where you regularly have conference rivals facing each other for a chance at a state crown.
17 minutes to play in the half. We are 0-0 in the 2024 Centennial Bank State Finals on the NFHS network. It's Catholic versus Conway, with Conway playing pretty much with a home advantage. Is this the biggest crowd so far
I would
compared
think
to
so.
yesterday?
I think so. Probably the closest one to it was the Clarksville crowd, along with Dardanelle. Both teams had a great turnout for that one.
I wonder if Green Fort is going to match up this crowd. I know that, you know, their town is very supportive of the success that Fernando Fuentes and everything that he has done for that community. Fernando Fuentes is a native from Guatemala. His son, Jafet Fuentes, has been called to the Guatemala national team U17. So we wish him the best to Jafet Fuentes, who I hope finds a way to stay in that group and find a way to get back in it. You know, being part of the national team is an experience that you dream of as a parent, but when that happens, it's unbelievable. I know that my son Carlitos Chicas, you know, he's part of the U20 national team of Guatemala, and you know, you get called. Sometimes you don't get called, but as long as you're in the mix, you have that opportunity to live that experience. I know that when he played 2 games and he scored on 1, just looking at him with the Guatemala national jersey was just, you know, tears came off.
There's nothing else like it.
Substitution for Catholic, number 16, Evan coming in, taking a break is number 7, Robert Buchman. Excited about what's happening in Northwest Arkansas with the USL Arkansas coming up. Hope to have that team set up by 2026, but tryouts are happening in the next few weeks to form the U20 team. So any boy that was born in 2005 are welcome to go and try out. Whether you live in any part of the state, if you have the opportunity to go try out for USL Arkansas, do it. I know just from watching all the talent that we have here in the Week of Champions, there are plenty of local talent that can be part of that team.
Well, and looking at the new venue that's going to be built up there, a beautiful new stadium up in Northwest Arkansas to house that team. It's going to be a very exciting addition to the community. Northwest Arkansas really one of the key areas contributing to the state's overall growth in terms of the beautiful game, but also Central Arkansas has done its part as well. The Little Rock Rangers immediately coming to mind, a club that seems to be growing in support every single year. You have these fantastic teams right here, one of them from right here in Conway, the other one just a few minutes down the road in Little Rock. There's so much talent in both areas. It's fun to see them all come together in a beautiful weekend like this one, where you get to see some of the best talent that the state has to offer. And the thing is, this isn't all of the best. There were some great teams that didn't get to make the trip to Conway, and that's really a testament to how talented these two teams are on the pitch, but also to the overall quality, which seems to grow every single year when it comes to Arkansas State soccer.
Counter attack by Catholic. Ortega takes it. Can he send the ball inside the box? Great save by goalkeeper. And the ball back to Catholic. Ortega protecting the ball. It's going to be a throw in for Catholic.
And Brody Tyler has done an excellent job defending at the goalkeeper position today. A few moments ago, I don't think we got to talk about it, but that was a great job of snatching one out of the air that would have been an easy header for the Rockets. Similar situation right there. It would cut off the header before it even happens.
12 to play in the half.
And that's the thing, Carlos, to be a goalkeeper, you have to be reactionary, but you also have to have the foresight to prevent those plays before they happen. Tyler has done that so far. We'll see if he can continue to do that against a very aggressive Catholic team.
Conway has it. Looks like there is a foul there. It's going to be for Conway. With 12 to play in the half. It's the 2024 Centennial Bank Stake Finals on the NFHS network between Catholic and Conway. Whoever wins this match is going to go up one title.
For Catholic, they can ensure that they would have the most in 6A with 6, although I'm pretty sure this would be their first since joining the 6A classification, Carlos, back when the move was made to 6A in 2019. All of their titles, as far as I know, all happened in the 7A era.
Number 13, Ethan Barrett coming in. 11 and 5 taking a break is 7, 2 and 19 for Conway. I don't think Tyson's it's happened to come off as a substitution. I believe this is the second time that he comes off. Throwing for Conway. They're going to go long on the throwing.
Conway today fighting to become the first team to record a three-peat in Arkansas boys soccer's highest classification.
And now Ortega is on the go on the counter attack, and now connecting with number 10 Estrada. Estrada to Ortega. He has support on the left side. He's going to go with a long ball, and the ball is going to come and be recovered by Conway. You were saying?
They're looking to become the first team to three-peat in Arkansas boys soccer's highest classification since 2016. That was back when Bentonville was a part of 7A. They repeated in 14, 15, and 16. There's been one other team to go back-to-back.
On the boys?
On the boys' side. There's only one team that has gone back-to-back since then, and that has been Springdale. Springdale winning in 2019 and 2021. The Wampus Cats able to repeat that feat achieved by the Bulldogs in 2022 and 2023. Today, the Wampus Cats winning that first three-peat, one of, I believe, only 3 in the history of the 6A, 7A classification. The other one belonging to Catholic. Back in 2011, that was that last championship was part of their three-peat, the last leg of their three-peat. Between the years of 2002 and 2011, Catholic won 5 times, but one of the other 2 championships during that span belonged to Conway.
Ortega connecting with Estrada. Slide tackle there by number 26. Eight minutes to play. Is the 2024 Centennial Bank State Finals on the NFHS Network. Throwing for Conway.
And Carlos, for the first time in this weekend of champions, we have a chance to have a shutout going into the halftime break. That has not happened yet. There was 1 goal scored yesterday in the final match. It was a 1-0 lead for Clarksville going into the halftime break, but nobody has been able to complete a shutout on both sides through the first 40 minutes. We'll see if that happens here today in the 6A boys state title.
Long ball for Lincoln Parker. Good job by the defense. Looks like the ball went away. Substitution coming in for Conway. Number 2 coming back in. And this is one of the things that I think I mentioned yesterday. I'm not a big fan of making substitution, in this case for number 2 Tyson for Conway. I think this is the 3rd time that he comes in. He get to play 6 minutes in the first half or the rest of the half. So it's to me, sometimes you don't give that a chance to the player to get that momentum going. Long throwing in the box, but again, coaches, we design different roles. That's going to be a card there. And you see he just came in, number 2. And now he's going to get a card. So, because I think he got there for 30 or 45 seconds.
And we're hearing the "you can't do that" chants from the Catholic student section. This might be our best turnout on both sides for student sections, because if you look down on the first row on both sides, both are filled with students. I don't think I've seen that the entire weekend that we've been here. A great student turnout. It's a Saturday morning, and when you're in high school, you just finished up a week of classes. Some of these kids just graduated. I feel like it would be easy to sleep in, miss out on this 10 a.m. matchup. Not these two schools. They love their soccer programs, and these students want to see their peers play for a state championship. That's great to see.
A little bit over 5 minutes to play in the half. It's 0-0 in the 2024 Centennial Bank State Finals on the NFHS Network between Conway and Catholic. Moving the ball, Magnus, the right footer. Magnus looking, trying to deliver that pass to number 16, Evan. An opportunity for Catholic. Catholic in the box, back to the goal. They collapse, goalie and defender.
And that time trying to go to the header, that was the quickest way to get the ball to him, but on the collision, lucky there that there wasn't an own goal. Conway, even here with less than 5 minutes to go in the first half, still feels like they're getting acclimated here against Catholic. Maybe a little bit of a different style. Even though these two teams have met before, maybe a different approach here from the Rockets in the state title game.
Danny Nava. Looks like it was a foul there call on Nava. So it's going to be a Conway ball with 4:27 to play in the half. It's 0-0 in the 2024 Centennial Bank State Finals on the NFHF Network. Substitutions coming in for Conway. Number 16, Dylan Boyer. Number 21, Zach Brown. And number 25, I have a number for 25 here on the roster. If you're watching and you know who's number 25 for Catholic, you can text that name to 479-621-3069. That's a good way to get a name.
There you go.
If mom or dad are watching and couldn't make it to the game, or a friend.
And we're so glad that if you can be here today in attendance, we're so glad that we get to bring this game to you. We had plenty of fans watching, not only from around the state of Arkansas, but around the world yesterday. We had viewers from Guatemala, Mexico. I'm sure that that list is going to grow even today. But we are so glad that we not only have a statewide audience, but an international audience joining us for the Weekend of Champions. It truly is a special weekend up here in Conway. And we've got a special match brewing right now between these two conference foes.
3 minutes to play in the half. This is where Conway is dangerous on those long throw-ins. We used to come and play in the UCA Amigo Cup. Years ago, UCA used to have this initiative to attract Latinos into the campus, and soccer was a way to do it. Long throw in the backs, an opportunity across the bar, again, goal! Goal! Chop! No, chop with the 1-0 Conway!
A huge goal here from Noah Shop. As you see the header right here, a pretty good shot to begin with. Lots of traffic, but Shop was right there to pick it up off the bounce. Gets the rebound, kicks it right into the open left corner. Carlos, you cannot do it any better than that, especially in tight quarters as Shop had to work with that time. I mentioned it a few minutes ago. We might have had our first shutout going into the break, but Noah Shop says not so fast.
And we said earlier in the broadcast, throw-ins are what Catholic has to be aware of, have to defend, because it's not so much of a throw-in, and I'm not taking anything away on the set piece and the idea of this long throw-in. But if there is not a deflection or a contact, your defense has to be ready. And Chop was there, not the most beautiful shot, but good enough to put the ball into the net. And that's what you got to be ready. You got to be ready to follow the shot.
And he did that perfectly that time, even though, as you mentioned, Carlos, it may not have been the most graceful one. The thing is that he was able to execute it the way that he intended. He was able to spot it even if it didn't look the prettiest. And it was a very effective shot indeed to give the Wampus Cats a 1-0 lead. And now Conway in the driver's seat trying to win their third straight state title. It's worth mentioning too, Carlos, again, teams that have scored the first goal in the Weekend of Champions all day yesterday. First goal, every one of those teams ended up winning the state championship match. We'll see if the Rockets can break that trend. But I imagine that Conway is not done yet. They are looking for more opportunities. And it feels like, too, you mentioned it, that Catholic has been doing most of the work out there. Conway has just kind of let them play let the ball come to them. A nice save there. But looking at how they've played so far, Conway doesn't have the most opportunities, but when they got an opportunity, they made the absolute most of it, and that's what counts. It's not necessarily how many opportunities you get, it's what you do with the opportunities that you have, and so far, the Wampus Cats have made the most of their opportunities.
And you know, it's the experience of being in the finals this many times. And you know, I think what it hurts as in every sport, if you don't score your opportunities, the opposition might get to the final third one time and put one in the net. And with that, we're going to take a short break. You're watching the 2024 Centennial Bank State Finals on the NFHS Network. It's Conway leading 1-0 at the half.
Welcome back to the 2024 Centennial Bank Soccer State Finals, live from Estes Stadium in Conway, Arkansas, on the NFHS Network. We have got an exciting match up to this point. A 1-0 score, Conway scoring in the final 2 minutes of that first half. We'll see if the Wampus Cats can hold out the Rockets down the stretch and maybe even add a little bit of insurance. The one goal up to this point being credited to number 11, Noah Shop. That was back in the 38th minute of that first half. And as we get ready to resume action, I'm going to turn it back over to our play-by-play man for the afternoon, Carlos Chicas.
Thank you, Chase. You were talking about the statistics of how whoever scores the first goal ends up winning. And we thought that it was going to be the first game without a scoring goal in the first half, but Noah Shop came top of 38th to the 1-0 here in the 2024 Centennial Bank State Finals on the NFHS Network.
And one of the things that we mentioned too, Carlos, it's not necessarily how many opportunities you get, it's what you do with the opportunities that you have. Conway did not have many opportunities in the defensive third of the Rockets, but when they had an opportunity on a set piece, a long throw-in, they were able to capitalize on that opportunity, even if it was off a deflection. May not have been the way that they had it drawn up, but they found a way to adapt. That was a great play by Noah Shop, able to adjust to the ball on the fly. You could tell from his reaction that it wasn't exactly where he was thinking it was going to go, but he found a way to angle the ball perfectly into that back left corner for our first and only score of the match thus far. We'll see if Catholic is a little bit more aggressive here in the second half. They've been plenty aggressive already, but we'll see if they even turn up that aggression more.
And now it's a set piece here on a corner kick. Number 22 for Conway. Trip on that set piece. In the air of the crossbar again, and to steal a Conway ball. This time it's going to be about the crossbar, and it's going to be a goal kick. But very, very effective on set pieces, Conway.
Well, you can tell what the game plan is. We've seen it a couple times now. If it's a corner kick or a long throw-in right there near the corner, you're looking for a player down low right in front of the net, and you're looking for that header straight into the top. And usually it has been over the middle, up high. So far, the Wampus Cats have deflected both of them off the crossbar. An opportunity now for Catholic.
Catholic, number 9, Trip Ortega on the last touch. And Ortega does a great job going and challenging the one-on-one. What I don't like about the decision making is that he's going in those type of situations, but no support by the teammates as he's trying to challenge those one-on-ones.
Carlos, we were talking about trends this weekend. Another one that has yet to be broken. Every team that has played in a state championship match this weekend has scored at least one goal. We haven't seen a shutout yet. Conway has a chance to do that here going into the second half. But as we saw yesterday, it's never a guarantee. Dardanelle was held off of the scoreboard for about 70 minutes yesterday before finally finding their way to a score about 10-15 minutes to go in the match.
Long ball there in the backs. Ortega was trying to make the run, but he fell down. And Conway starting to manage the clock. Catholic lost possession of the ball. Conway has it in the final four, in the final third. Might be an offside position. The assistant referee calls it up. And it's going to be a Catholic ball. Conway on the go, on the left side, to the near post there. A little bit of a danger on that shot there. Throwing for Catholic. Ortega connecting with Simon. Alex with the long ball, deflection there. An opportunity for Catholic, and now it's a 2v3. Ortega has it in the backs. Ortega is going to try to find an angle, looking for a PK. See if we can get a replay, see if there was some sort of a foul there in the last touch. Ortega still looks like he's holding his left hand. Let's hear the replay as Ortega tried to cut inside. Then keep possession right there. Bring the ball to his right foot. No foul at all.
Still, you have to be very careful to avoid fouls in the box like that. Whenever you're going for a defensive play, it's very easy to lean into that aggression. If you're too aggressive, though, again, you might make a mistake. And when you get into the box, that mistake could end up costing you a goal. And in a match like this, where goals are going to be at a premium, you can't afford to have that happen. We have seen a PK this weekend that happened in the Russellville and Van Buren matchup. Fortunately for Russellville, they had plenty of insurance by that point. They ended up scoring 11 goals in that match, but in a lower scoring affair, especially like the one that we saw yesterday in the fourth and final match of the day, Clarksville and Dardanelle, also in the case of Pulaski Academy's match, when they came away with a 2-1 narrow victory over Siloam Springs. They couldn't afford to give up a single goal more. I have a feeling this could be one just like that too, and it looks like we're going to see a card here.
I think he went on contact.
Yeah, now he's getting a card for, I guess, arguing with the referee.
Yeah, we hear you.
And you don't want to get those cards by silly mistakes, because it can cost you.
It can.
Yeah, we hear you. You hear us?
This is one of those matches where the margin of error is very slim no matter which side you're on. You have to be playing at your absolute best.
An opportunity there for Conway. Got the Green Forest community asking where to get the link so they can watch the game. So I know that community is passionate about supporting, and fans who are not able to come, they're gonna have to connect to the NFHL network and catch it.
We will have all 4 of today's state championship matchups, including the one that you're seeing right now. But Carlos, looking at the slate for the rest of the day, an exciting matchup to start the day, but the excitement is just starting. There are plenty more matchups that look to be very entertaining as the day goes along. We've got Harding Academy and Shiloh Christian coming up next for the 4A Girls Championship.
And here it comes, the long throw in. Goalkeeper comes off. Might be a corner kick. Justin, tell us the rest of the games for later as Conway start managing the clock. So we have the Green Forest game coming up too, and then CAC with both the girls and the boys in the finals.
Certainly an exciting day for CAC, already kicking off their day at baseball.
Corner kick for Conway. Long ball in the box. This time the defense gets it away. Substitution coming in for Conway, number 5 on the jersey, George Ross. Taking a break is number 16, looks like, Dylan Boyer. Catholic, Estrada. Estrada with the throw-in. It's going to be for Conway. The ball comes back to Catholic. Long ball trying to get to Ortega. Moving the ball. Catholic. Lucky on that one, but went through the legs. Baker. Conway moving the ball, and again, you know, it just Catholic is going to have to find a way to maintain possession. Catholic on the go. This is where you got to add numbers because you can see about 8 players for Conway defending, and it's 3 players against those 8, and it's going to be challenged. Catholic is going to have to move the pieces up as they attacking. Nice job by Conway. Number 7 has it in the box. It's going to be a corner kick for Conway. Good job by Lincoln Parker on the last play.
Some very nice footwork, and you could hear the crowd erupt when he was able to make a defender miss. Had him take a seat on the turf. We'll see if Conway can capitalize on the opportunity from the corner.
Substitution coming in. Number 2 is back on the pitch, Tyson. And this is the 4th time that he comes in. Top of the 29. Number 16 coming back in. Dylan Boyer. Corner kick. Ball in the box. Conway is going to get it back. Crossing the ball inside the box. Defense is going to try to clear it. Conway has it via number 7 on the jersey, Parker. It's going to be another throw-in for Conway.
Yes, sir.
And again, you got to be able to defend those if they're sending that long ball into the box. And here he comes. And you got to be ready for that second ball because this is where they can get in trouble. Conway fighting for the ball. And now it's Catholic on the go. Switching the ball. This is where they have to push up the numbers. You know, the two center mids have to push up. And he needs some support. That's number 9, Ortega. But the support, in my opinion, has to be in transition. And that way they have to take advantage of the number. Because now you see you got Conway with 10 players behind the ball.
That was going to bounce off the left upright of the football goalpost. And Carlos, going back to what you mentioned, although Catholic has been fairly aggressive in their attacks, especially Ortega when he's going on the sides, it feels like they've played a little bit conservative in terms of how many players they commit to the transition offense. It feels like they're always wary of that counterattack from Conway, because Conway does have a very strong counterattack, and that's a very real threat. But also in those situations, you have to weigh the risk and the reward. Is it worth avoiding the risk if it means we can't get the reward of those goals in transition? I feel like that decision is going to become especially important as we enter the later stages of this match. Catholic still looking for its first goal of the match.
It's a foul call on Catholic. Catholic has it. Magnus. Parker chasing the ball. He's going to leave it. Coming up at noon p.m. at noon, Harding Academy versus Shiloh in the 4A Girls Championship match. .26 to play in the game. We're still up 1-0. Goal scored by Noah Shop, top of the 38th minute.
Well, Carlos, we talked about all the teams that have tried to three-peat this weekend. One team doing so successfully already, Conway, on their way to doing it as well. But how about Harding Academy, the girls team, looking to make it a four-peat? And they've done it across classifications. Started out in 3A with a victory in 2021 as well as 2022. They made the move up to 4A last year. Didn't matter, won the 4A girls state title in their first year in the classification. They've got a chance to go back-to-back with 4A title, but 4 straight state championships overall for the Wildcats. What an achievement that would be for a remarkable team out of Searcy. That's an achievement that we have rarely seen occur in Arkansas high school state soccer.
What a great ball for Catholic now in the backs, trying to get something going. And these are the opportunities that you gotta take advantage of it, because if you don't risk inside the box, then you minimize your opportunities. That was a great opportunity for Catholic. Danny Nava connecting with Magnus, switching the ball to Garay. Garay has it with the right foot. And now the ball comes back to Estrada. Estrada with a, not sure if that was a cross ball or what Nava was trying to accomplish, but I don't think he got the foot on the ball the way that he wanted it. Substitution coming in for Conway, number 22 and 11. And Tyson coming back out.
Also seeing Noah Shop back into the match. He has the 1 goal so far in our entire match. Got to think he will be a candidate for MVP if that result stands, but at the same time, you got to give your props to Brody Tyler. It's not that he hasn't received any attacks. He's gotten some support from his defense, but he's also made some excellent saves in the box. We'll see if that continues here into the final 25 minutes or so of this match, just over 24 minutes left. But Catholic is going to have to move with some urgency if they want a chance to, at the very least, force overtime in this match. But I'm sure they'd like to win it in regulation.
Evan come into for Bookman. Ortega.
And Carlos, that's something else I've noticed too about these attacks in transition from Catholic. When you look at how they've been attacking, it seems like their numbers shrink away the closer they get to the box, but Conway's numbers appear to grow. They become increasingly aggressive on defense, and so far that strategy has worked.
Good opportunity there for Catholic, but great job by the defense. Shot on goal there, blocked by defense. Conway is gonna have to clear it. Magnus. Conway has it. Center referee gives advantage. Still ball fighting. .22 to play in the game. That's how much it separates Conway for the three-peat.
We might have a three-peat on the boys and girls side this year. Bentonville already accomplishing it on the girls side. Now the Wampus Cats trying to do the exact same thing on the boys side. Not only that, but do it in their hometown. There is plenty of Wampus Cat blue here today. The entire lower bowl is filled. Half of the upper bowl just about is filled with Wampus Cats. An impressive crowd for this exciting match. Now just trying to finish it off.
Conway has it, and now the counter attack. Long ball in the box. Conway over the crossbar, looks like.
Trying to sneak it into that upper left-hand corner that time above the goalkeeper's outstretched arms. Unfortunately, that one sailed on him a little bit and kept veering to the left all the way towards the large scoreboard. And Carlos, you mentioned the graphics up on the scoreboard this year. Excellent design for all of the finals. That same design is also being applied across the street at baseball. It's been used for some of the softball games as well. Truly just beautiful branding done for these matchups here at the Weekend of Champions in Conway.
And when you're watching the 2024 Centennial Bank State Finals on NFHS Network, you only can expect the best. And the graphics, like you say, they're second to none. Catholic building from the back. What I like about Catholic is that, you know, the style of play haven't changed. They're maintaining their composure. They're sticking to the plan, hoping that they get that break to get the equalizer.
Got some good ball control at the moment. Conway playing back for a moment. A little bit of an aggressive move there on the attempted tackle. But the Rockets, again, Carlos, give them credit. They're not panicking. They're taking their time looking for just the right shot for that equalizer, as you said. Could be a good opportunity
on the
here.
ball, the goalkeeper comes out. It was a great save by goalie. And you mentioned this about about the goalkeeper from Conway. You know, he might not get that many shots today, but the ones that he have gotten, you know, he's been very effective.
Well, the thing about Brody Tyler, too, is that he's not only a great reactionary goalkeeper, he's very much a preventative goalkeeper in that he has the foresight to see where the play is going to go. And he prevents opportunities that would have been shots on goal, stops them before they even happen. We've seen that with the header several times. Again, right there, a deep ball that could have set up for an easy shot up close. He prevents that as well. You know, there's always that risk of stepping out, trying to make those saves, but they've all been calculated today by Brody, and the result has been a shutout up to this point.
And if you are Ryan Lawrence, the coach for Catholic, at what time you start panicking? My God, is it 10 minutes left in the match where you have to decide? Well, I have to make some changes here.
See, that's the interesting question right there. And I think it differs depending on the team. If you know that you can strike quickly to create that score, you don't have to panic until later in the match. I go back to that match yesterday. I know we've mentioned it several times, but the Dardanelle matchup against Clarksville, Dardanelle did not score until the final 10 minutes of regulation. The thing is, the Sand Lizards, even though they were getting some pretty good looks, they weren't able to capitalize yet. They were running out of time, but they didn't panic. They kept sticking with the game plan because they knew at some point one of those opportunities was going to yield a goal, and it did. It was a very impressive finish to that match for the Sandlers, and they took Clarksville to their absolute limit in the penalty kicks.
Well, I know that at the 10-minute mark, I'm going to stand up because I hope that those last 10 minutes it's going to be intense if the score remains like it is. Throwing for Catholic. Garay. Connecting with Drew. Magnus. It's a Conway ball. Referee almost got on the way. There's a few players falling down on the surface. I wonder if it's the surface or it's just the cleats. An opportunity. Goal! No, offside. Offside, and number 9, Trip Ortega was about to celebrate. And we'll see here on the replay if it was offside or not. Assistant referee from Northwest Arkansas getting all the hate by fans, denying that opportunity. Let's see here. But we cannot tell from here because the angle of the camera. Good finish there by number 9 for Catholic, Aaron Estrada.
Best finish that the Rockets have had all day. Unfortunately, it is going to be scratched from the scoreboard with the offside. If you're the Rockets, you hope you get another opportunity like that, but it's not a guarantee.
Garay connecting with Simon. Ortega on the go. Ortega working. If I was Ortega, I will challenge those balls but facing the goal. Conway's going to keep it alive. Looks like the ball went out of bounds and it's going to be a Catholic ball. Substitution coming in, number 3, Jackson Barron for Catholic. Coming in was number 11 for Conway. Noah Shop. Good movement of the ball. Chacon with Magnus. Magnus to Nava. Cross ball. .13 to play. Garay for Catholic. Hugo Chacon. Shop. Handball. Coming up at noon is Hardin Academy versus Shylong in the 4A Girls Championship. Free kick for Conway.
Carlos, in that next match, on one side you have Harding Academy looking for the four-peat, and on the other you have Shiloh Christian looking for their first state championship in over 10 years. They won it back in 2013, their one and only soccer state championship in school history. We'll see if the Saints can add one more to their record here in our second game today.
Catholic has a shot on goal to the hands of the goalkeeper. Fans know that they're 11 minutes away from claiming another title, as number 13 Ethan Barrett coming in. Little push there. Referee says no. Garay. Substitution coming in for Conway, number 13, Ethan Barrett. Looks like somebody's gonna get a card there. And now, now the coach gets a card.
Looks like he stepped over the line.
Yeah, and he keeps arguing he's gonna get a red card. And see the rule, and I don't know, usually the rule when it comes to coaching is assistant the head coach gives, that's a foul, gives instructions and come back to the bench. Assistant coaches at all cannot give instructions according to the rule, but maybe that's something changed. But that's the challenge when you have too many coaches, and like, when I'm coaching, I always try to tell my assistant coaches, hey, stay there. Take it for granted, because sometimes the referee are so nice to us when we're coaching. And as long as you don't get involved into anything that is going to affect the way that they referee, they don't say anything. But the minute that if you're not the coach and you start acting like the coach, then that's where it gets you in trouble. Teams are taking advantage of the stoppage time to get some water.
We've had water breaks in the past at the Weekend of Champions. We didn't have any yesterday because fortunately the temperatures stayed down for most of the day, but I'd imagine that it's going to be a warmer day today. We may see a bit more in terms of water breaks as the day goes along. Not an official one here with 11 minutes to go in our first match, but serves its purpose.
This is what I've been saying about Ortega. He comes in and he comes this way. He needs to take those balls and face the goal, because coming into the corner right now is not working. So when he gets the ball, he has to face the goal, but he's choosing to go to the corner where, in the last attempt, possession was lost. Conway has it, and how do they say in football, they milking the clock.
Yes. Going to be Conway ball here off the deflection.
Throwing for Conway. Sanchez. And now it'll be time of, like I say, when do you start pushing your lines, or are you just gonna, hang on to whatever the game plan was and try to tie the game in the last 9 minutes?
And for Conway, it's going to be about clock management here. How do we hold the Rockets out for the next 9.5 minutes, because they've had some successful attacks. The best look that they've had today was taken away off of an offside. So here for Catholic, it's going to be finding that balance of how can we get that look again, but this time we've got to make sure that we don't commit a penalty of some kind. If they get the opportunity, they have to make it count here with 9 minutes to go in the match, because it is very much looking like one goal is enough to decide this one.
And this is where Catholic is going to have to push. By going back to what you were saying, if I push my lines, do I have to take a risk? And then the speed of Conway can be dangerous for Catholic.
As far as I know, thus far for the Weekend of Champions, if Catholic can find a way to win this match, it would snap the longest championship drought of any team that had previously won one at the Weekend of Champions. Of course, yesterday we had a first-time champion crown in the form of Clarksville. But it's been a long 13-year wait for the Rockets, trying to get back to this spot, championship within their grasp, but that reach is quickly fading further and further away as Conway continues to drain this clock. Not too many opportunities left for Catholic High. They're going to have to create something for themselves here going down the stretch. Three new Rockets entering the match, including Lincoln Parker, as well as Lane Carpenter. And Carlos, you think here maybe trying to go for some fresh legs so you can become a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more energy going into these last few attacks.
I think from what I see is that you got to know the situation that you're in, and judging from here is like, I think Catholic needs to realize that they have to speed speed it up because it's you're down 1-0. It's 6 minutes, and you still going into the attack in some sort of slow motion. But it's still 6 minutes. And the thing is, there is no more time after 6. It's not like, we lost X amount of time during injury time or whatever, or wasting time that the referee can say, hey, we're going to add 5 more minutes.
This is it. 80 minutes to determine a winner, unless the Rockets can find a way to tie this match and force an overtime period.
And see, we got to. If I was Catholic, I would push these 3 players up to more account because and leave the 2v1.
And even if the score stays the same way, I think it's safe to say that Conway has been challenged today in a way that few other teams have found a way to challenge them during this championship run. Catholic has limited their opportunities offensively. They've had control of the ball for most of the match. That's not always something you see playing the Wampus Cats. It's just been a great defensive showcase for Conway.
Good opportunity for Catholic. Didn't get the ball the way that he wanted it there. Number 9, Tripp Ortega.
We could tell that Tripp was trying to hook it around the defenders that time, but when you have 2-3 defenders closing in, you have a very small window to get it through. He just tried to get it through as best as he could. Unfortunately for him, the goalkeeper, Brody Tyler, able to adjust on the fly, and ball was straight to him.
.4:13 to play in the game. Conway not that far away from getting the three-peat.
Also looking to become the winningest, or tied for the most state title wins in the history of the 6A, 7A.
And now, referee talking with number 2 who already has a card. And you don't want to get a red card with almost 4 minutes left in the game. An opportunity for Conway. Great jive by the goalkeeper. And again, it's those long throw-ins. And I think the coach is asking for something there. Not sure what.
He wants an explanation. He thinks that there should be a foul there in the box. This should be a PK for his player. It sure looked like incidental contact from up here. But again, you have to be careful with how far you take the argument. Already got a yellow card.
Yeah. 3 minutes and 13 seconds to play, and you see Coach Ryan Lores standing now. He knows he's running out of time. And let's see if Catholic on the last 3 minutes finds a way to get the equalizer. Moving the ball. Chacon to Magnus. Magnus trying to get into the space. And now back to Ortega. But again, Ortega going to the wrong way.
Just under 2.5 minutes left for Catholic to try and make something happen.
They going deep, ball in the box. An opportunity for Catholic. Both players collapse there. It's gonna be a Catholic ball, and they better hurry up because they're getting close to the 2-minute mark. Running out of time. And losing possession of the ball like that is gonna help. Magnus is gonna get it. He's gonna send it in the box. Goalkeeper is gonna come out, way out. Catholic has it. Trying to cross the ball. An opportunity for Catholic. Good job by the defense. They're going to clear it. Simon connecting with Chacon. Chacon going into the space. They're going to have to fight for that ball. Bookman, it's going to be a corner kick, and they better hurry up. It's 1 minute closed. They need to hurry up. They're going to send everybody. It looks like even the goalie is going to come out. We've seen it before. We've seen it. We've seen goalies scoring goals in this. Risky, but it might work. Let's see if the goalie can become a hero. The goalkeeper comes in and block it. And now if they get a counter attack, there might be an opportunity. Still 1 minute. And another opportunity. Goalkeeper, stay there. Take advantage. Catholic trying to cross the ball. Now an opportunity for Catholic. Catholic blocked by the defense. Still a Catholic ball. They're going to send a Holy Mary. Protecting the ball. The ball still in play. Looks like maybe an offside position.
I think that they said that was a goal kick. It went out of bounds. It was just a delayed whistle that time.
Substitution, 30 seconds. Anything can happen. It's the beautiful game of soccer. It's the beautiful game of soccer. 30 seconds. They're going to have to hurry up and see if they can get anything right here. Looks like Conway might walk away, but there's still 25 seconds on the clock. 19 seconds, they have to send it in. There is a handball. Referee stop the clock. Looks like the ball hit him. I hate this rule. When the ball hits the referee and you have to stop it, because guess what they did? And like that, looks like Conway is gonna walk away with the title. It's a three-peat for Conway. Congratulations. And we're going to take a short break. Congratulations to Conway as they rush it into the field. It's the 2024 Centennial Bank State Finals on the NFHS Network. And Conway takes this 1-0. Trophy presentation following up. That's on the game, Chase.
Just defensive domination here from Conway. This was a different Conway State title match than what we've seen in the past, Carlos. We've seen Conway control the ball a lot more in previous state title matchups. But in this one, Conway did not have the benefit of time of possession. That went to Catholic. Catholic was a lot more aggressive than some of the other opponents we've seen them play in state title games before. But it only took one opportunity to win this match. An excellent job capitalizing on that opportunity when it was there by Noah Shop. But you've also got to give a shout out to Brody Tyler, the goalkeeper for the Wampus Cats, was able to hold out the Rockets for an entire 80 minutes with an aggressive attack like this with some very good looks in transition. It was not an easy feat, but Tyler and the entire Wampus Cat defense has recorded our first shutout in the 2024 Weekend of Champions. A very well-deserved victory for Conway as they complete the first three-peat at the highest level of boys soccer in Arkansas since the 2014-2016 three-peat that we saw. And now they can claim that they are tied for the most state titles of anybody in that 6A classification with 5, now tied with the Catholic Rockets. But I'd keep my eye on this Rockets team. I think that this is not their last trip to the Weekend of Champions soon. I think that they will be back at the grand stage sooner rather than later.
You're watching the 2024 Centennial Bank State Finals on the NFHS Network.
And this morning's MVP, your goal scorer, number